Wait.
We're rolling.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? What the hell are you waiting?
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 95.
Wow.
Correct.
I remember that
Jiu-Jitsu
year.
Dummies podcast brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business, website design, Google Ads, graphic design, mailers, any print work, check them out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on IG or their website, bbdigitalmarketing.com. They can absolutely help.
Let's do it.
Request a free review of your entire online presence today. Okay. My name is Milton Campus. I'm a brown belt. I am training out of South Florida. Bo behind the camera. Miguel riding shotgun. And shout out to our booking manager, Britt, for getting all of these awesome guests on the show.
Yes, Britt. Thank you very much. Keep wrestling.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, click that subscribe button on YouTube, and click the little bell. It'll send you reminders or send you a notification when we launch new episodes or put out snippets and things like that.
Not that you need it, but it helps us out.
Yeah, we
I know you guys
appreciate
check
the
in.
support.
I know they check in.
What's that?
Just do it to help.
Yeah.
That's what it. They checking in. They checking in. They watch.
Appreciate that.
First to know, the 10th to know.
So, don't forget, it's still on the top of our link tree. So if you go to our IG page and you click on the link in our bio, we still have the Kurt Osiander Medical Recovery Fund at the top there. Please donate. Please help him out. It's Kurt's a legend. Yep. We all have a Kurt story of something that we've learned through a video, through one of his moves of the week. I know that I do.
He's giving us all something.
Yeah,
give something back.
Yeah, even no matter what, whether it's $1 or $100, just check it out.
Most of the people listening will have their hips replaced.
Yeah, he did just have one hip replaced. He's got to do the other one. He had a lot of trials and tribulations the last couple of years on top of COVID and all the craziness, and then his car, his house got robbed. So
yep, katana sword.
If there's anybody that deserved a little help, it's Kurt, and we all need a little help every once in a while.
Let's do it. So
joining us today is ATOS Black Belt Heather Wood. So stick around. We have a few quick shout outs. Thank you to our friends over at Flow and Roll, hands down the best custom gi and no gi gear in the business. Don't believe us? Visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll and check out all the custom designs that they've created for academies across the country. They have a very cool special running right now where you buy 25 gis, you get 25 patches, 50 gis, 50 patches, 7,500. You get the idea. Reach out to them directly for more details. You can email at flowandroll@gmail.com. Or just, again, go to the Instagram, shoot him a message.
Slide in them DMs.
Yeah. Sean let Sean know that Dummy sent you. He's been with us for a really long time. I love when I talk to him and he says, I just got a new client. They mentioned the show.
It's good.
That's awesome.
It's working.
You can also find our podcast tee on their Teams page. Go check them out again. It's flowandroll.com. You get 20% off of anything on their website with code JJD. Not for use with custom orders, though. Okay, guys? Thank you to the BJJ box. Thank you, Tony, for all your support.
Rocking the shirt.
What is it? The guillotine choke, right? What does it say? This is the BJJ box on the show. Yeah. Very cool. I have I've been wearing the hooker one.
Hooker assassin. Hooker assassin.
My wife loves when I wear that. I don't know that I'm allowed to wear that outside of the house.
Sometimes I just cover up the top word.
Hooker assassin.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. I could wear it to the gym, but I can't wear it with my wife.
Just wear an ascot.
She doesn't like it.
Just wear an ascot so it covers the top part.
So the BJJ box is Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box. It's delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. They find the best products in the world of jiu-jitsu, and they guarantee that every box is going to be worth more than the cost. So each box includes about 4 to 7 items. We know you're going to love it. Use coupon code JJD10 for $10 off your first order. And we've got another cool box coming soon.
All right.
We've got a cool little announcement for Neutral Zone Clean. Okay, we talked about it so much that Mike and Candy, the owners of Neutral Zone, they said, hey, why don't we do a special? So the products, the website was just launched in August. You've got your wipes, your sprays, your refill. Mm-hmm. We talked a lot about the bucket.
Yep.
The bucket, which has 1,200 wipes. So it's a bucket, right? It has the wipes coming out the top,
Yep.
so you can grab a wipe. I think we've all been seeing like in the supermarkets, right, in a little tin, right?
Right.
They have a bucket that they bring out to wrestling events. They sell it on their website. Go online, go on the shop page. You'll see that bucket. It typically goes for $109.
Okay.
So they're going to do a special, $99. So you're saving $10.99.
Yeah.
Use code JJD GIFT. Okay. Again, you're going to get $10.99 off and free shipping. That's a freaking big bucket.
Yeah.
So free shipping. So
What's
you're getting even more,
So like
the value goes
it's
even
a big
higher.
bucket.
So it's only for the bucket. Now we do have our coupon code JJD for 15% off anything from the site. So if you don't get the bucket, you still want to get a discount. It's 15% off with code
You want to get
JJD.
the spray.
But if you want to buy the bucket,
That's
getting the
deal.
$10.99
That's
off,
deal.
it's a good deal plus the shipping. I mean, it's like $20 plus off right there.
Yeah.
Just, total. You can buy anything else from the store if you want and get free shipping. So that's kind of cool too. So if you get the bucket and you get a refill or you want to get yourself your own canister, you're not paying anything for any of the shipping.
Yeah.
So he threw that in as well.
Got to do some math.
So go check them out. Again, it's neutralzoneclean.com. On IG, you can find them at Neutral Zone Clean. All right. These are not CBD products. We're going to talk about the CBD in a second, but this is its own company, Neutral Zone Clean.
It's a hygiene.
It's a hygiene product company. I've got some soaps that I've got to test out that they sent me. I'm on my last wipe. I have one wipe in the canister from the original test canister.
Yeah.
They sent me the big Mambo Jumbo one that they sent. So I'm actually going to be taking this one home.
That lasted you a couple months.
That lasted it lasted a really long time, and I used it a lot.
Yeah.
But it was like, big one.
Little
Maybe
bit goes
they
a long
haven't put
way.
out that canister. So again, check them out. NeutralZoneClean.com. And don't forget, again, 15% off with code JJD. $10.99 off the big canister, the big bucket of wipes, 1,200 wipes with code JJD GIFT. All right. Let's talk about the CBD, right? No matter if your aches and pains are coming from lifting weights at the gym, rolling on the mats, or just a daily grind of life, NeutralZone has a product for you. Find your NeutralZone by finding the best products for your pain wellness so you can continue your active lifestyle. This is in my bag on the floor. I took it out today, took out my computers. I put some on. Always have neck pain from sitting at a computer all day. I mean, most of my days are spent here before I go train or come here. Travels with me pretty much everywhere.
You got to tell me, man. I use it.
Yeah, I really am using this. I had my wife put my whole back yesterday. It's just like everything was tight. I'm like, put this on the whole back. But you can find those products at neutralzonecbd.com. Get 25% off with code JJD, and you can see all the products on the table. They have the tinctures, the roll-ons. They have
the bombs.
The balm, that big one. The balm is great.
Yep.
Like you put that on, it's like they're still there in the morning. Like it's still, you could still feel it. It's like a thick, almost like a.
It's like a balm.
No, but like I mean, so if somebody's thinking about it, like
Vaseline,
like a deodorant, like kind of like it has that feel.
It's Vaseline, but it's not greasy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Again, check them out at neutralzonecbd.com. Get 25% off with code JJD. Okay. All right. Anything else? Anybody got anything?
Nah, man.
All good?
Let's get to this guest.
Little gas.
Let's do it. Let's get Heather in here. Let's do it, Bo.
Two.
Hello, Heather. How are you?
Good. How's it going, guys?
Good, good. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on your show. This is awesome.
So you just said you're coming to us from Idaho.
Yeah, this is my parents' city.
Yeah.
In Boise, and I really, really love to come back here. I have a lot of really good friends here.
Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, it's where I grew up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where the college college football, the grass is blue.
Oh, really?
The team.
Yes.
The Broncos,
We
they're orange. It's like the most obnoxious orange and blue. It's like the Gators. Imagine the Gator colors on a football field, and then the seats are all orange and blue. The stadium's wild.
So you go? Do you get back there a lot? I think I listened to an interview with you, and you were visiting back then as well. But
yeah,
do you get back often?
Yeah, I try to come back like 3 or 4 times a year. I really love it, and like through my jiu-jitsu career, I always come back here when I like run out of money or when I'm really homesick. So
it's home base.
I'll be like, a free place to stay and like good people. So like a regroup, you know.
Now you let the cat out of the bag. When you tell people you're in Idaho, they're gonna be like, "Oh, she must have run out of money. Gotta go back home." What's the training like there? You said you're at your friend's academy there. Do you get some good jiu-jitsu training out there?
Yeah, so particularly since COVID, the jiu-jitsu has amped up a lot here. There's a lot of new schools, and also we have a group of black belts that we all train together. Okay. So it's just different guys from all the gyms, and we have group training. It's fairly inconsistent, but when we're like, I guess when I'm here, I usually try to bring them together and get all the guys to come and train. So then it's like, it's the same amount of black belts as if you're in ATOS or anywhere else. Yeah. I think about 8 black belts come, and myself and a couple browns and purples. So it's a good room. It's a good room. And they're all from different schools. So they have different styles and different, like a lot of wrestlers here. So we get a lot of that.
I was waiting to say that. I was going to say, is the jiu-jitsu good out there? I'm sure the wrestling is great out there.
Oh yeah. My buddy,
Potatoes,
his gym, his gym that I'm in right now. He's my size. He's like 150, and he wrestled since he's like 5, so like 30 some years, and 34 years or so. So he's a really good coach. He coaches like a high school here, and he's D1, and I learn a lot. So my wrestling gets much better.
And then I have a follow-up question. So you've got a chance to train with loads of people from all over the world. Do you think the baseline, like white belt out of the street, never ever trained before, doesn't matter what they did in high school or whatever, just run-of-the-mill person that walks into the gym, is there a portion of the world, or even just in the States, a portion of our country that has the hardiest, the toughest? Just like, why is everybody tough here? You know what I mean? Like,
I think I would say someone just to walk in the gym. You mean like some like good old boy from here, or like, is that what you're saying?
Like some surfer dude in California,
or like a Midwest guy, or like an East Coast guy, or girl, or whatever. I'm just saying, like, generally, because my wife's Midwestern, and then like the women up there are hardy. They're hardier than the women down here in terms of just like.
I don't know if I called my wife hardy, if she'd be like.
She's from the Midwest.
No,
she's from the Midwest.
I don't know a lot of women who'd like to be called hardy.
Like my wife's like mentally strong.
Yeah,
like she's not weak at all.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Are you backpedaling now?
No,
He's backpedaling now.
Absolutely, he is.
My wife's smoking. My wife's smoking hot.
I'm gonna listen to this.
my wife's smoking hot. but I mean, just like, she's a tough woman. Like, she's not scared of getting her hands dirty.
When I heard hardy, in the back of my mind, I don't know what movie I heard it in, but like when a guy calls a woman sturdy.
Yeah,
that's like hard. It's such an insult.
I don't mean it in a physical form. I mean it.
I would just use the word tougher.
It's not
they're tougher here or there.
And just other things like the mannerisms, like getting dirty or getting wet.
We
got so far away from jiu-jitsu already.
That train derailed. That train derailed a long time ago.
I'm gonna instant message his wife this little portion of the show when he called her hardy.
Yeah.
I should be a paramedic. I'll never give up, like, on the person. You know.
I get the crux of his question. Where are people tougher? Period. Here. Out in Boise, California. I know you've been in Florida,
Japan.
Like the average person, like you're like, damn, these white belts are tough. Let's call it white belts. Who has the toughest white belts?
I want to say like the Mexican, Colombian, like Latin American girls, the toughest white belts I ever seen.
Yeah,
I think the Brazilian sometimes too, but like I just recently did a camp in Colombia, and I was like shocked by how tough the girls were just coming out the gate. But I don't know if it's just like, I don't know if it's here or there or Florida. Like I'm not gonna bash like the Californians. I love living in California, but I do think it's like a level of privilege, because I train in Brazil. I taught kids in Brazil. I taught kids in Australia and in France, and I feel that it wasn't so much of where they came from as like actually like their level of poverty, to be honest. Like the kids who like grew up with nothing, like they fight so hard. The women too, like they're like, if I'm going to be here and I'm not going to be providing for my family, or if I'm not going to be doing something to further my career, I have to give 100%.
Yeah.
Whereas someone like who has more privilege and has an easier life,
My
I
kids
think
use it's like after school. It's just the thing they do after school. Yeah, I get it.
I just talked to my wife about that yesterday. We were talking about my parents, and like my father came from Puerto Rico, used to run around naked, like playing in Puerto Rico because he had no clothes, no shoes.
Sounds awesome.
And all he does, right? Sounds like fun. But my dad is like, my mom complains about it all the time, but I don't think she realizes what she has. All he does is work around the house. It's like he wakes up, his job is taking care of the house. He's always been like that. He was a cop. He's been retired since I was like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
And his job was just always taking care of the house. And I told my wife, I said, that's because he had nothing when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And now he respects and values.
He knows how to be poor.
Every single thing he's had. and my wife and my mom too, you know, she didn't grow up rich, but you know, she had a hard life, and she absolutely, you know, they respect everything that they have. So I don't know. I think like you're saying, when they come from a place where it's poverty stricken, or it's just they have a hard life. Yeah, they're like, you're gonna work a little bit harder, not only to help feed your family, but kind of like you're trying to prove yourself, and you know, you want what you see that other people have, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part here though, like the guys who come into Boise, like come into jiu-jitsu gym, I would see them as pretty tough, but that is because they've wrestled since they're 5.
Yeah.
So it's like after 6 months, they're already like a pain in the butt for me because they're just like so tough. Like wrestling, you already have such a big, like such a background. And I feel like in California and maybe in Florida, they don't have that. They grew up playing maybe, I don't know, soccer. What do you guys play over in
Hockey,
Florida? Like you just catch alligators? Or?
Yeah, you got some of that.
A lot of roller skate hockey is very popular.
Florida,
down here.
Florida's football.
Yeah, football.
Big
on football. Huge on football.
South Florida is
basketball,
a lot of
soccer, basketball.
Yeah.
Soccer. I'm from New York. It was lacrosse, gymnastics, soccer,
Football.
but not.
There's some big
Lots of
wrestling
football,
schools here.
you know.
I wrestled in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrestling was big on Long Island where I grew up.
Yeah, I grew up in Miami.
Yeah, we had wrestling at Holy Cross too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those guys are tough. So I mean, let's take a little bit of stuff. The whole time you were talking about it, I'm thinking I want an ATOS Boise T-shirt, like with the ATOS Boise Idaho.
And instead
t-shirt.
of it being blue with the white, I want it to be
Like
blue with
corn.
orange.
with corn,
So it's Boise.
instead of the sword.
It's not corn there. It's potatoes,
like,
dude.
Two stalks of corn would be great. Is that what it is? Potatoes.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh yeah.
It's not
Idaho
corn
potatoes.
there.
Idaho.
You're thinking
Yeah.
Midwest.
Idaho.
Yeah, we have potatoes, so it'd have to be like a potato
Yeah.
and ATOS and like
That truck that carries that big potato around.
Yeah.
In the commercial.
Box of French fries. That's
Yeah.
So let's go back.
Freedom fries,
Where and when did you get your start in jiu-jitsu?
So back to the beginning. I lived in LA with a couple guys who fought MMA. I rented a room from them. And I did like some stand-up classes, some of their classes for about 2 years, but they were more like cardio kickboxing type things.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just mainly bring me along so I could be their wing woman so they could hit on women. This was my first like step into the
Those
MMA
are smart men. You lived with some smart
culture.
dudes.
yeah.
The brain
Yeah.
damage hadn't set in yet.
Yeah. So they were like, you should do jiu-jitsu because you're like really clumsy and you'd do better like on the ground.
It'll teach you
And
balance.
I was like, oh no. Yeah. And they were like, oh no. I was like, no, it's gross because like every week they'd come home with staph or ringworm or like something super nasty. But I learned now is because they were gross. Like one of them would leave his training gear and go and play video games for 8 hours after he just did like sparring sessions. So he's just filled with other people's sweat. Yeah. So I realized it's not so much jiu-jitsu. It's like the level of cleanliness that person has. So
For sure.
they they had staff and ring room all the time. And so I started to travel. These were like two stories that kind of went together. But I started to travel. I sold all my belongings, my car and everything. And I had the idea of jujitsu. I had started to do a little bit, like just learn arm bars and like more self-defense for this trip. And so I had done a little bit with a friend and like learned some things. And then as I started to travel, I played soccer growing up. So I was playing soccer and the boys in Argentina wouldn't play with me. I started to get really sad because I needed to do something active. I'm not just much of like a drinker. And so I wanted to do something other than just like work and look around at the city. And so I took some classes in Argentina, some like no-gi classes. And then when I got to Brazil, I was like, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu. So I went to a gym. They got me a gi and I never looked back. So that was...
fall in love right away? Were you like, did you know?
I was obsessed. Because
it's always...
I think that was...
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Finish your,
okay.
time frame.
Yeah. I don't remember. I think that was 2011, 2012. Yeah.
I was going to say, I love when I hear that because I just reinforces, we always talk about it. It's like, you're in or you're out with jiu-jitsu.
There's no casuals.
Yeah, there's no like, I kind of like this, let me try. It's like, I really feel the people that stay, it's just like, they fell in love immediately. They're just like, oh, I need to know more of this. I need to learn this.
We all have it in common.
Yeah,
like
the guy, the people that are like, well, I'll go one day a week. They just, they're gone. They're, a lot of people during COVID who weren't that into it, they haven't come back. It's my gyms, they've got people that still haven't even come back yet. But
there's a lot of people here in Idaho who only come like twice a week, and I don't understand it. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, if I go twice a week, it's because I'm hurt.
I can only manage like my family and my work and my jiu-jitsu to only go 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So like that's just what I could only do, and I would be there every single day if I could. Trust me, but that's just my schedule. But you
have other obligations. Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, for sure.
For me now too, it's.
I'm just giving an explanation to like I don't get it. I was like, that's my life.
No,
that's probably more, and especially here because it's not as not as what's that word? Like it's not as popular as like California or Florida. So people are like, what are you going to? What's that weird class you go to 5-6 times a week? Yeah. Like their families don't understand. Their wives don't understand. So
say wrestling.
You've been training for how long now? 3.
I'm coming up on 3.
I'm coming up on 9 years. So for me, a lot of it is injury. It's body. Yeah. I started when I was 41. I'm going to turn 50 this year. A lot of injuries, little back injury. Blew out my knee before COVID. Came back, groin injury. It's something gets in the way. But in the beginning, it was 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. Or Saturday was probably 3 or 4 hours with like traveling to another gym, doing an open mat. But it like just age and time has caught up with me, and that's the main reason why I train less. But now I kind of feel like I developed that pattern. If I'm not training jiu-jitsu, I am going to the gym. I'm going to lift weights, trying to get my cardio better. Like, if it's not jiu-jitsu, I'm doing something. I'm not just waiting for the next jiu-jitsu class. But I definitely have to. My best week of jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu. Train weights, jiu-jitsu weights, something like that.
That's what I'm doing.
2 back-to-back days of jiu-jitsu these days is my wife's got to push me out of bed with her foot. Yeah. She's like, roll. She has to help me roll out of bed in the morning. If I put weights in between, then I'm actually really good.
I've been
then you feel better.
I've been getting really efficient. Like jiu-jitsu does do that to you. It makes you more efficient with your time because like I'm still not even sure if it's ego driven or not, but like I just want to be better.
Yeah.
And then it's like if I train on Mondays and then on Tuesdays, I do the whole family thing and then like everybody goes to bed and then I'll go watch the UFC Contender Series. And then so I have like a rule. It's like I watch the round and while they're sitting down getting fixed up between the round, I do something. Like so I'll have my weights weights laid out in the living room. So I'm like working out and stretching. And then if there's a TKO, I'll do 50 push-ups.
My house, my living room, I have recovery devices all over the living room.
Yeah.
I have the chirp wheel, I have the So Right, I have the massage gun.
That's jiu-jitsu,
bro. The foot stuff that I have the Thurricane. You get it into.
I don't know what half those things are. Is that
you need them.
Like It's a care package you get when you turn 50, right?
I have I have the device that you put around your neck and you put like on the door, or you can hang it from
I need that.
from the railing.
The thing
and then
that
you lay down and it pulls your
that?
neck out. I've got them all. I've got the inversion board in the garage. Every one of those things is a must and has its place. But like the psoas though gets me through, like the psorite. Psorite is like
What's that?
The psorite. You haven't seen the psorite? It's like a little piece of plastic. It's like
looks like a U.
Yeah, it looks like that. That's connected.
Oh yeah.
They give them out at the. I know they would. I don't know if they were traveling with, but they were giving them out at the Fight to Wins to the competitors.
Oh.
They give them like there's like 4 or 5 different versions of the device now.
There's one that looks like
amazing. It's just a piece of plastic, but it just gets into every nook and cranny. From really meant for the psoas in the front, but it's great for the back. Even then, I'll sit and watch TV with my neck on this hard piece of plastic, but it's just digging in, and I'll just watch TV laying on the floor like that. It's amazing. It's like that, and I massage gun every morning and almost every night. That's how I get through.
That's how good jiu-jitsu is.
Tell us about your injuries, Heather. Have you had all the major injuries?
Everything is broken.
What's the worst injury you've had?
I think just like constant neck pain from always training and always like playing guard. And I'm really excited because I've kind of decided not to train gi anymore. Ooh. And I'm going to teach it some, and I'm going to train every once in a while, but I'm really going to focus on no gi mainly because my gi game was a guard that would get squashed, and I have to train with, like 200-pound guys and getting squashed and getting squashed and getting squashed. And now in no gi, I just feel so like, I don't know, I don't get squashed. I just don't get squashed. Someone can't like suck you in and hold you down. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You can get away a little bit more, right? You can
get away a little bit more.
It's a faster game.
Yeah. It's a faster game. My passing is definitely better in no gi.
There's less stalling.
I love it.
And in those stalling positions is when somebody's doing the crushing and somebody's getting crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Deep near side underhook.
So, but I think everything. I think all of my ligaments have been somehow twerked in the wrong way, but I think that's why strength and conditioning is so important. And I think that's great. Like Milton, you're saying you do it every other day. That's fantastic because a lot of people forget about it and they're like, only jiu-jitsu. And I was like, yeah, but do you want longevity? Because if you're not doing strength and conditioning, you're not making those muscles stronger. You're not keeping like your tendons protected, and you're just eventually going to shit out and everything's going to break. So I think it's super important.
I feel so much better just the day after weight training. Again, I've trained jiu-jitsu. I've done some weight training. That's going to help me with my jiu-jitsu. But then I feel like my body has repaired. I'm not doing crazy weights. I'm doing high reps.
Yeah.
But I'm getting in there doing something different where I was for a long time. I was taking my coach's advice. It's like, how do you get better at jiu-jitsu? Do more jiu-jitsu,
More jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So it wasn't really, there wasn't a lot of talk about the physical side, and I knew better on my own. But again, you get addicted, and you're like, go train, go do some, some bench, or can I should go do some more jiu-jitsu, and I fell into that. I'd rather do the jiu-jitsu.
I've given that saying a lot of thought lately. It's like all the best ones say it. How do you get better at jiu-jitsu? You do more jiu-jitsu. There's a lot of truth in that. But then you say something like, yeah, but how much do you care about longevity?
Yeah.
So then it becomes like an equation of what you want it to be on the other side. It's how much jiu-jitsu versus how much longevity do you want?
But I think if you want longevity, you have to do both. If you want to compete, you have to do both. So I think it's a natural part. But they just go together. You're doing, Heather, you have, is it an app or you just offer like online training? Is it jiu-jitsu and like and food, and are you guiding people through everything, or is it just one side of the equation?
The game.
So it's actually everything. So it's great for someone like you guys who you want longevity, but you want to get better at jiu-jitsu, you want to progress, or it's great for a competitor. So I have both sides. My program offers it's an online coaching program, and I offer so we do nutrition. I have a nutritionist. Her name's Anna Catalina. She's amazing. She's from Mexico City. And you meet with her, you discuss like what you eat, and she helps you find a good meal plan to meet your macros and the things you like. Because like, let's be real, we're not 20 years old. We can't eat whatever we want, right?
Yeah.
But we also don't want to be so strict where we're like starving ourselves and not happy. So she helps you find a balance with that. And then you have a strength and conditioning program. I don't know if you guys have heard of Electrum Performance. Galval used it for a really long time. It's a strength and conditioning program. Well, he has an app, and I have that app incorporated into my program. So you guys get to do that, which it's incredible and super necessary for longevity. But not only that, but as an athlete, there's only a few athletes that I know that don't do strength training. And I think they're crazy. There's only a few people who actually don't. Like Galval will say, oh, just train more jiu-jitsu. But he's training 2 to 3 days a week strength.
In his garage.
So in his garage, exactly. Yeah. So I know the best, like Shandy Ribeiro, he trained Marcelo Garcia, all of these legends, like they'll tell you, oh, just more jiu-jitsu. But they're strength training, you know? So there's other components. I mean, I think when they say that is because they have so many students that just like come in twice a week and are like, what's the magic way to get better? And you're like, just train more.
Yeah.
You know, but this isn't for the person who's like really is putting in the work and needs to get better, because there's a lot of things that you need to do. I really recommend like yoga, stretching. That's really important. And then I even set down this, like, I don't know if I have it in offhand, but I set down like guidelines for what I have all my students do. If they're a hobbyist, if they're a competitor that still has to work like me, I can't do 4 comp classes a week and 4 classes and work and open mats and my 4 hours of drilling and my 3 strength and conditioning and my 2 yoga. Like, I have to give and take some time because I have to breathe and sleep and walk my dog. So my program helps people make a schedule that they're not cheating themselves, but they're like reaching their full potential, if that makes sense.
Balance.
Yeah. Balance is great.
I'm curious.
And things like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
But just things like, if I were to have you as my client, Miguel, like I would give you good drills that you could do during the week so that you could progress further. So you don't just feel bad about your 3 jiu-jitsu days a week. So you could really find ways to excel in your jiu-jitsu, even though you're only going 3 days a week. Yeah. So instead of just doing like 50 push-ups, I would be like, okay, well, we can do these drills instead. Or you can have someone like come to your house, do drills in your house. Like, I don't know if you guys have mats in your garage, but things like that. So
yes, I do. I moved last year, and my wife was great about it because she does a little kickboxing. She does more like the kind of cardio kickboxing stuff. So, you know, we have Miguel actually hung the bag, and we did a speed bag, a heavy bag. I have mats. And yeah, it's like she let me take up half of a 2-car garage. So
nice.
I have stuff.
So you
at
have
home.
A little gym.
And
it's pretty sweet.
But a couple of months into the move, after the move, groin injury, so can't kick the bag. I got then I got caught up with the training.
Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummy sent you. Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost.
I'm actually kind of curious because I know you're talking about it a lot. I know a lot of people that are doing it. There's like kind of, I guess it's the carnivore diet, right? You're eating like eating meat,
and fruit
and fruit.
Meat, fruit.
Is
honey.
it called? Is that the carnivore diet, or it's a version of it?
I don't know what to call it.
I hear that as I had a heart attack 6 years ago, and when I hear just like a meat diet, I'm like,
I don't know. Just
I would,
meat,
oh my god, my heart! I feel like my heart just wants to explode right there.
I don't think that's.
Are you how into the nutrition side are you? I know you said you have a nutritionist. How knowledgeable are you about your own nutrition, and do you do it yourself, or do you have this person work for you as well?
No, so I hired her because I see a lot of people, like especially black belts. This is my biggest pet peeve: is give advice in like an area that they don't know anything about or know little about. I know, of course, I know a little bit about nutrition. Like I've been an athlete most of my life, but it's not my forte. So I hired someone to do that for me and for the people in my program. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, yeah, you just do this and that. Like, of course, you can research online, but this is someone who's done nutrition and gone to school for over 7 years about nutrition. So that's why I feel like it's the most important. For me, I don't like any fad diet personally. I just like to stick to good macros, and I do eat a high protein diet. But I've also functioned really well when I was a vegetarian before. So I don't think it's necessarily one way or the other, but anything that's like a fad, like carnivore diet or keto.
I mean,
I don't think I could eat just meat. No way, that'd be crazy.
You talked about that last week. Like, I want to find. I think I found. I call it my relatively healthy diet. I eat if I'm eating meat, it's turkey and chicken. If I'm eating turkey and chicken, I try to. It's going to be organic, so I'm hoping that I'm not getting all the chemicals. I know there's arguments on both sides of that, but luckily my wife loves fruit, so the house is always filled with. We don't eat a lot of vegetables, but like a lot of fruit, a lot of protein shakes. But I drop fruit, broccoli, spinach into my shakes. Like, so again, relatively healthy. But I stopped at not Whole Foods, there's the other one, Fresh Market down here in Florida, and I got like sweet and salty like nuts that are like covered in, like some of them are covered in sugar. Like, all right, I got an hour ride, and I that's my cheat, so it's not bad. Yeah. But the thing that makes me lose weight is more of the intermittent fasting. I try not to eat after 5. So I'm eating, I eat a lot during the day, 2 meals a day, big lunch, and then I really try not to eat anything till, go to bed until I wake up at 7 a.m. again. So that's been the thing. If I stick to that, I could lose. I see on the scale I'm losing a half a pound a day, so.
I'm always curious about that because why are you fasting so much? Like, why not in the morning? And And why not eating right after your training, like a protein shake, and then like something light, and then fasting more in the morning rather than the night?
For me, I really don't like to. I feel uncomfortable if I go to bed with like food in my belly, so it's just I kind of naturally kind of fell into that rhythm of like, oh, I'd rather go to bed on an empty stomach than like when my wife loves to go out to eat, and I'm like, I know it makes us feel old, but we have to go out to dinner before 5. When I eat at 7, 8 o'clock, and then I go to bed, I literally like wake up in the morning and my shirt is like, I'm sweating. It's AC, got the fan on, it's cold, and I'm like sweating, and I feel like I had a bad night's sleep. And luckily, like I have an adjustable bed. I have to like sit with the bed up because I feel like I'm laying down, like the food's coming up on me, like so. I don't know. I just fell into that pattern of doing it. And again, if I stick to it, I lose weight. If I stop doing it and I eat at night,
there's
I gain.
actually a routine for that. So 2 to 3 hours minimum before you go to bed, you stop eating, right? And so you have 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours there. You have your 7 or 8 hours of sleep, and then you wait till lunchtime to eat.
Yeah, I gotta eat when I wake up in the morning. Gotta have a coffee and food.
Intermittent fasting, you have to have at least 14 hours of fasting for it to be intermittent.
But I heard that that's not necessarily the best for women, like because of like our
my wife
hormones
can't fast.
and just. Well, they had a lot of studies that show that it's not the best thing for women. But then again, there's a lot of women who do it and swear by it. I think just whatever you're doing to your body, as long as you see progression and you're not suffering to do it. That's why I always think balance.
That's the answer,
So go back. Go back to what you said though, like the fad diet. I feel like, and again, I know like Ray's doing it, you're doing it. I just don't feel the people that I know that are doing this thing right now where they eat just meat and then fruit. I don't think that it's great. Okay, maybe it gets you to a place, but I feel like as soon as you stop and you go back to the carbs and like. It's gone.
You don't want to go back to the carbs, though. That's
I don't think that's the case. I think people are going to go back to eating potatoes and rice and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then it's like okay, but if it gets you to a point, okay, listen, if it gets you there, that's fine. I do feel like it's like not something that's sustainable. I think I found a way that I could eat for the rest of my life. I eat healthy. I could not.
And that's great.
This is good for me. And again, hey, look, I've fallen off the wagon a whole bunch. Come home with an acai bowl at 9 o'clock at night after practice for me and my wife because she loves the acai. I want to do something nice.
That's healthy. That's a healthy dish.
But again, now I'm eating right before I go to bed. So it's I don't know. I've tried different ways, but that's been the thing that's. I mean, I've dropped 12 pounds in the last couple of months just off doing it and being consistent with it. So.
Well, you look fantastic.
Thank you. But I'm right 233 now. I'm at my heaviest. I was 247 in the past few months at my heaviest. So that's to me that's a lot. So
no, it's hard, and as long as you're coming back, I think balance is, and like you said, like something that you can maintain, like longevity, balance. Those are things I really believe in. We're not 20 years old. We can't do like just whatever and have all the pounds drop off. Like we have to be consistent, and we have to do things that we can manage.
So let's talk about ADCC. You were there? Did you go?
Yeah.
When we spoke yesterday, you were driving back from Vegas?
Yep. It was a good time.
Overall sense of the entire event? What'd you think?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was a great event. On Sunday, I had a couple whiskeys because sitting in that place for like 12 hours, I don't sit still well. That's why I do jiu-jitsu, I think. But it was a really good show. It was put on really well. The only thing I would have liked to see is like a schedule so that I could have picked what I wanted to see. They ended up posting one on like Seth Daniels' page, but not one on the ADCC. So I was like looking, and I was like, "Where's the schedule?" And someone's like, "Oh, it's on Seth's page," and I was like, "How does that make sense?" So like the only thing for me, I would have liked to have seen like something so I could be like, I had a car, so I could go at this time, come back at this time. I want to see the girl fights. I want to see my professor. I want to see some of my friends who are fighting. Yeah. But I don't have to see. I mean, I love jiu-jitsu. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't not watch every single match. Like I have to eat. I don't want to.
I watched be there from 2 to 1 until the end of the Galvao fight, the Ryan Galvao fight. I watched the entire day. Now I did kind of fall asleep a couple of times, but I told my wife, I said, this is jiu-jitsu Olympics. You got to let me watch this.
And they crammed it in 2 days.
And I didn't watch,
They
but
crammed it
I
into
watched
this.
all day. I didn't watch. I did watch a little bit on Saturday as well, but I wasn't as consistent with it. But then Sunday, I was just like the whole day. And my wife was just like, she left me alone. She let me do it. She knew how, like, to her, I said, this is partially, I'm a fan. And it's like I was studying, like I was, these are people that we're going to ask on the show. And these are people that, I want to remember this and know when we talk about ADCC in 2022 that I could, see it and talk about it intelligently.
Man, also,
but it was
how about
amazing.
the high caliber amount of people that were there. And it almost like this ADCC really felt like a passing of the guard from old jiu-jitsu to the new blood in jiu-jitsu, like the Rotullo brothers, Baby Shark.
Oh, yeah.
I sent an invite to like all three of their pages. They have a page together and their 2 pages. I threw out the invite.
They comment
to come
back
on.
sometimes on my stuff. Yeah, they're funny.
How about those Rotolos? Oh my God.
They're amazing.
7th world.
I'm sure you've had an opportunity to roll with them.
Oh yeah, I rolled with them in all the belts, and they've always been great. But I think it was like when they got like, I guess, man strength, I would say.
For sure. Yeah, that's
because man, like they've always been so good, so talented. They work really hard. They're really nice boys. Like I'm really happy to see them on that level, and they really deserve it because I see a lot of guys, and I feel like, and their boys were. I don't feel like anything was really handed to them. Like they had to work hard, and I just think it's amazing. They're just such great people, and they're so talented.
How about that heel hook on Mika Galval? He dove.
Oh, I was trying to replay. Like I watched it over and over again because we watched it in real life, and we watched everything. Like
he dove under the leg.
He dove under the leg, but it was like. He had to clear the knee line first a little bit, so his knee wasn't trapped. And then Mika just weaved his foot in the wrong side, and Kay just like, boom, it was done.
He almost like four locked his leg. Like it almost looked like a weird calf slicer position. Like it was like almost like reverse lockdown, like on his hip.
Well, Mika?
Yeah, like Mika's leg entanglement like looked really weird. Like the way they were facing away from each other.
I think he was trying to isolate the knee and get the heel hook. And then Kay just kind of slipped the knee through. And then that's what it looked like to me.
Oh, look.
Now I want to watch it again.
He brought the heel from his inner armpit to his outer armpit. And he dove like under and then came up. It was so wild.
No, but I was saying like it was how Mika set up his leg entanglement that he brought his leg inside when I think if it had been outside, it would have been safe. And Cade would have had to escape. But I got to watch it again now.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
How weird was it to watch Ty? It was Ty, right? Ty with Josh Hinger, right? That was rough. Like first round, really? Like
that's really hard. And
essentially his coach was he his coach at points, right? He's not a training partner. Like he must have been his coach at points. No, like in classes. No,
I don't think
he's a
Josh
competitor,
was
right?
ever his. Yeah, I don't think that he's ever been their
Josh
coach.
doesn't like run any classes at ATOS and stuff.
I think he used to run the white belt classes, but I think that he's just. I'm not sure because I've been traveling myself for the last year teaching seminars. I think that Josh was just teaching seminars because you make so much more money.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think because honestly, the people who run the class are Galval, and nobody really believes this, but Galval teaches almost all the classes.
Oh yeah.
Rolando teaches some, and Michael Liera used to teach a bunch. Dom Bell teaches some, and for the last year or so, I've been teaching seminars. So I haven't. Yeah. I've only gone back to train for.
Still hard to watch two training partners though, right? Especially from your own team.
Well, that's how I felt watching Nicky. Nick Rodriguez versus Gordon Ryan. I was like, okay.
But they're not training partners anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, he brought him up. I mean, could you imagine? That'd be like being a professor at white belt.
When we talk about Ty and Josh, they still train together. Like
exactly,
that's
they
still in the
train
same
together.
team. There's no rivalry there. That had to be hard. That was a tough match. What a tough match. What a great match. It was hard. It was hard for me to watch, like knowing like. That's heartbreaking.
That's tough.
You're the older guy. As the older person, you've got to, really put it on this amazing kid.
And I don't know how close they are, but even if they're not, like, it still sucks because it's your teammate.
Yeah.
Like, and then people say things about closing out. Like, it's hard in this instance when it's like for a world title or for ADCC. Of course, you're not going to, but. Then they have little tournaments like, let's say, the Boise Open. Like, why do you want to fight your training partner for a dinky $5 medal that nobody pays you, nobody sponsors, nobody gives a shit?
You paid.
That's definitely harder.
Yeah,
I paid. Yeah,
that's definitely harder. But is it?
I agree with you 100%.
I mean, you're saying like the Boise Open. Is there, are there actually events out there, and how big are they? How many competitors, actually come out? Is it a small event, or is it still like, hey, we got people coming in from far and wide?
The IBJJF Boise Open is big.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's not like something that you want to fight your friend over. Like, I think. For me, I would never go in a division with my friends in a small tournament because I wouldn't want to fight my friend for
Fifth
nothing.
place.
But for something like ADCC trials, ADCC Worlds, Pan Am's, like I don't personally those ones those are big titles. So yeah, I mean it just depends. And
the Rotulos went at it.
Yeah, right.
At Worlds.
Yeah.
When they went against each other.
Everyone uses that as a good example. But yeah, they're brothers. I'm sure there's some sibling rivalry, like when you want to fight your brother.
But I don't think they would have done that at a Naga, is what I'm saying. Like at
definitely.
that event, didn't they? That's when they got their black belts, right? They were browns.
I think after that.
It was right after that.
Yeah.
They got their black belts right after that. And because it was Worlds and they weren't going to close out final at Worlds.
Yeah.
They freaking went.
They know that the people want to see it, and they're definitely they're fun, they're a good show, they're great to watch. So but they're not gonna fight each other at a Naga for sure. That's a good example.
I watched them how they move, and I'm just like, oh, right there, I would have twisted my ankle. Oh, there, right there, my knee would have got blown out. I'm like, how are they moving like this? And even I think it was Greg Cade came out with his knee wrapped towards the end, right during the last match. It's like I'm like, okay, so they do get injured too. They are human.
Yeah, 17 years old.
Oh, they're human.
Yeah, crazy.
They're 19, I think now.
Yeah, they're 19.
19,
now.
yeah.
Oh,
they beat Mendez. He beat Mendez, right? Because it was an AOJ record for the world's youngest ADCC champion.
Yeah,
and now it's Cade.
Who was it before?
Javi Mendez brothers. From AOJ.
Yeah. Dang.
I think he beat him.
Was the youngest.
Yeah, was the youngest.
Yeah.
And Cole Abate would have been the youngest at 17. And then whoever won the match between Mika and Cade would have been the youngest because Mika's also younger than Mendez when he won it.
Yeah.
The record was getting broken no matter what this year, but it went to Cade.
And Mika, is Mika younger than the boys?
19.
No, I think he's a little bit older, but he was still been younger than Mendez.
Okay.
He got his black belt at 19. He should be 20. If he's not 20 already, he's about to be 20. I think he is 20.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he would.
That's what I was saying about the passing of the guards, like this new wave of jiu-jitsu that's coming up. No pun intended. But I think that's kind of like what they mean by it.
So we did get a couple of listener questions, and the first one that I'm going to read you is from Yvette Wang. It is we talked about this a little bit already with dieting and training, but she says, okay, message for Heather Woods. What's your BJJ training diet and outside training like? So obviously, again, outside of jiu-jitsu, so weight training, you mentioned yoga, things like that, but maybe you can go into a little bit more detail for her.
Yeah. So my week, I haven't wrote my schedule for this week, which would have been nice, so I could just share it with you guys. But my food for most days is I try to eat about 160 grams of protein, which is still really hard for me. And then I don't have my ratio right now, but I eat healthy carbs, so I don't eat gluten. Right now is like upsetting my stomach, so I eat like sweet potatoes, rice, and some veggies and fruit, just like I guess normal food, but with good percentage. I have a meal plan made, so I try to stick to that, but sometimes I'll just switch out the proteins. Some people, they can eat the same thing every day. I can't do that.
Guilty.
I don't like it. I get bored.
can too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want like
I blame the army.
something good.
I like a lot of variety in my meal in that sit down, but I could eat that same thing almost every day.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Like lots of egg whites with turkey. Like that's a big thing for me. I could eat that a million different ways. Brown rice and turkey on like a salad. I could eat that every single day. I found things that I like. That again, that's why I say like I could eat like this for the rest of my life and be happy. You
found your forever diet.
I found my forever diet. Now again, for me, it's more about the time of day. But go ahead. So yeah, I'm actually curious. You mentioned like obviously like you're doing this. You're a professional. Do you say you write down, you normally schedule like your week of training out? Like I'm going to be doing this on this day and this on that day. Do you really, it goes that far for you?
She's busting the phone out.
Let me find it.
So let me get my schedule.
I'm going to find, well, I usually try to write my schedule for each week. So I haven't wrote my schedule for the next week, but, okay. So this is what I wrote out, and this is what I kind of go by for my students and for myself. So a full-time athlete. So this is what I try to do for myself on a regular week, especially when I'm not working or I'm just working. I have my online business, and I don't know if you guys probably don't know this. I do like eyebrows and eyelashes and stuff.
I knew that. I like the page.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I think I did.
Yeah, I wasn't able to do this when I lived in San Diego because I had my own studio. Before COVID, I had an eyebrow studio with another woman, and it was amazing. And I would do microblading and lash lifts and a whole bunch of stuff. So I really didn't have time to do this, but this is what I do now. So I do 4 comp classes a week, which in Idaho, I can't always find comp classes. So I'll have to build that up with extra rounds afterwards. So I'll like do a class, and then I'll just beg people to roll with me for like another hour after. I'll do 4 regular classes. I'll do 3 1-hour drilling sessions, and then I'll do 3 to 4 lifting sessions, which to be honest, I'm very bad at. I usually get in 2 to 3. And then I'll do 3 yoga or stretching a week. So if I can't make it to a yoga class, I'll just stretch in front of like the TV or outside in the backyard with my dog. And then I try to hit up an open mat just because I feel like jiu-jitsu should still be fun. And I like to always just have a time where I don't have to be like super serious or focused.
Are you good? Do you like having somebody like hold you accountable to that? Like a coach? Like my wife hates just training on her own. She's like, she likes to go to classes where she's do this. And it's like work out for an hour and a half. Me, I'm like, I love to do it by myself. I'm disciplined enough to go to the gym, to run, to do to do the little things that I'm going to do. Which do you prefer? Are you like an eagle all by yourself, or you need somebody, helping enforce the rules?
So this is hard because in ATOS, Galval has so many students, and I feel like it's hard for him it's a school where they give you all the tools you need to succeed, and you have to have a lot of self-motivation. So in that sense, no one was really like, Heather, come to class or this or that. Like kind of the girls would be like, hey, we need you. Like I have a competition coming up. But it was also part of a constant lifestyle where I never stopped, where I would just like wake up at 6 a.m. I would hit 1 to 2 classes, lifting and work, and be in bed by 12, somehow walking my dog and feeding myself. I don't know how. But now in Idaho, it's a little bit harder. And when I travel, it's a little bit harder. Like I can get in rolls, but I find it hard to be consistent in my lifting and stretching. Those are hard things. And I've asked multiple times, like one of my best friends here, he's my wrestling coach and he owns one of the gyms in Boise. And I told him like, hey, I need you to like coach me. I need you to be like bossy and make sure that I'm held accountable. But I think he's like maybe slightly scared of me because he's like, do you want to come to wrestling? I'm like, no, I don't want to go. And then he'll be like, okay. So I feel I have to hold myself accountable. I think it'd be nice to have someone push me sometimes because especially when I come back to Idaho, I can feel myself be a little bit more lazy. And mainly that's because I feel that a lot of, I guess the people here aren't as driven with jiu-jitsu. And so a lot of them are like, oh, we'll train, a couple of rounds. But if somebody else, it's my ego. Let's be real. It's my ego. In ATOS, let's say my friend Amanda Bruce, she's a brown belt. If she rolls 10 rolls, I want to roll 10 rolls because I want to be better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's more of I feel like it may be an ego that drives me to work harder. But I did pretty good this last camp for Master Worlds and doing it here in Idaho. So I was very proud of myself because I stayed consistent the whole time.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, support for today's episode comes from Vincero Collective. If you aren't familiar with Vincero yet, they make exceptionally crafted and stylish watches at affordable prices. Other premium handcrafted watches have insane markups, but you can now finally own a high quality and lasting timepiece without going broke. The best part is listeners of the podcast are getting hooked up and can save even more with the biggest discount that they offer. So if you're looking for the perfect accessory to help elevate your lifestyle, for a limited time, you get 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with our exclusive code JJD at vincerocollective.com. Now, you were just saying
Yeah, I was just walking through the shop at work, and, I work around a lot of, like, big, heavy materials and stuff like that. I banged it up against a steel chest, actually, and the glass or whatever it's made out of. Not only that, it didn't nick it or stretch.
Yeah, you did that. Totally, we did set that up.
Yeah, no, it held up.
I went to dinner with my family on Saturday.
Yeah,
my brother-in-law sitting across the table. He's like, "Hey, man, you got a really nice watch," and he's like, "Oh, let me see." And I put my hand across the table.
Yeah,
and he's like, boom, he puts out his watch, Vincero.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm like, not because you saw the show. He's like, no, I had this already. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, if I looked through their site, obviously, after we got them, and there's some nice stuff.
Yeah, he had
it makes you want to dress nicer. Like, I think the watch is nicer than anything that I own. So now I gotta upgrade everything else to match the niceness of this. That's
absolutely hilarious because I have not worn anything dress related throughout the entire COVID.
Yeah.
I haven't worn my brown shoes that I normally wear to go out or to go to work. I put on nice pair of jeans, a button down. Rolled up my sleeves, had my watch on. I was like, I look good.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I didn't want. That is absolutely true for me.
The watch has
it made me go, I want to wear my watch.
In the closet.
I want to wear my watch. So I got dressed up. Yeah.
I had to iron stuff.
Yeah, man. It was, again, coincidentally, my brother had it. So I love the watch. I've only worn it a few times. You said you're wearing it to work. I'm not really wearing it during the day. I work from home for the most part. So I'm not wearing jewelry or anything in the house.
Yep.
So it's just been if I've gone out, and I've gone out twice now.
I gotta have a watch at work, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you like it, man.
I do. Thanks, Vincero.
So once again, they can only offer this big discount for a limited time, so don't wait or it'll be too late. Get 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with code JJD at vincerocollective.com. Support our show. Use the code. Again, it's JJD at VINCERO collective.com. I guarantee that you're going to find something that fits your style, so shop Vincero today. Let's get back to the show.
Nice.
Thank you. And then I just wrote it down for like athletes who have to actually work. So just anyone else is like 2 comp classes, 5 regular classes, 3 1-hour drilling sessions, 2 to 3 lifting, and 1 to 2 yoga. And then so hobbyists, which is basically you guys, I mean, I don't know if you compete, but that's basically what you do. 3 to 5 regular classes, 1 hour drilling or 2 30 minutes, 2 lifting, and 2 stretching. So that's pretty much what you guys do, right?
I'm a hobbyist for sure. Yeah.
It sounds like a lot more than I do.
I felt like an athlete for a second till I saw.
When I hear it like that, it sounds like a lot more.
Until she read off the athlete, I thought I was doing a lot. I was like, damn, I feel pretty good about myself. She started just like, brrr. I was like, I'm not doing any of that.
No, but there's definitely something to be said for like overtraining, and I've seen this a lot. Like, for example, I have a friend in Mexico. It's my friend's wife. And she trains, she does MMA. She trains 5 classes per day. Like, this is including her boxing, her wrestling comp training, her sparring, jiu-jitsu in the night, beginner, and her lifting and her jiu-jitsu advanced. So I would see her in the gym from 5 to 6 hours per day, 5 days per week. And she's a mom. I don't know how she does it. And I think like I tell her she overtrains, but there's overtraining is a real thing.
Yeah.
Like there's a point where you're breaking your body, and I don't feel that you can retain that much information. So sometimes I actually do better when I do a little bit less, because I feel like I can retain the information. If that makes sense.
I think a lot more people are talking about that now.
Makes
like
way more sense.
You need to rest 8 hours of sleep at night. I mean, even the UFC has gotten on its fighters about, cutting weight. And now they have to be, they actually have to have a doctor, check in on them the week of a fight, while they're cutting. I mean, it's just a different world. And yeah, I think the world recognizes that the body will heal itself if you allow it to rest. And if you're, mean, you're saying you're training 5 training sessions a day. Right. So I hear that's 5 hours. That's at least 5 hours. A training session is usually going to be an hour, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
And that's 5 hours of training every single day. That's it's a job. That's,
Yeah.
Shit, I hate sitting at a desk for 5 hours. And
that sounds like a better job.
No, yeah. Sure.
I'll take
getting choked and punched in the face for 5 hours.
I work more than 5 hours a day, so I'll take the 5 hour gym a day schedule.
Yeah. If only I could turn back the clock.
Like if that was
but I feel like when I break this up, like when I'm doing this, is it doesn't come out too bad. It's basically taking off 2 full days a week, and I can have like 2 full days of recovery where I can like hike and hang out with my dog and do my stretching. And sometimes I have to lift on my rest day because I didn't plan well, or I decided I wanted to hang out with friends. So I mean, I feel like it's actually not as much. It sounds like a lot, but if it is your job, it's really not.
No, yeah,
it's too much.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just hard on the body.
Talk to us a little bit about the seminars. People can just reach out to you on Instagram if they wanted to book you for a seminar, or do you have anybody helping manage that for you?
No, so I hired an assistant and it didn't work out. So,
IG.
I need an assistant. No. So everyone is welcome to message me. I do try to do seminars in like the area that I'm in, because as we get older, it's exhausting to like fly somewhere for like 3 days and fly back. Of course, if someone's like, oh, come to New York, and I'll go. But for example, in the fall, I'm going to be in the Portland area. So I'm going to be teaching in Northern California, Portland, and Washington. And I'll be able to set a schedule up slowly, and then I'll have slots open. So if people want to reach out to me on IG, or you can write me on my website, whatever works.
Yeah. Okay. Good hiking up there.
What's that?
It's like good hiking up there.
Good hiking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm super excited. And all my friends there have dogs, so I hope that my dog can get along with their dogs. And yeah.
It's going to get
I'm super stoked.
Okay, we have another question. I have another question for you. This is from Livia Everhart. It's her IG is Sauce BJJ. I know she's here in Florida. What is the one thing no one ever told you about jiu-jitsu, but you really wish someone had?
That's a good question.
She's in her teens. I think she's probably under 16 still. Maybe 13, 14.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. That helps because I don't
She's
wanna say
she's a
something
younger
inappropriate.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh, the camera followed me again. Whoops. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been doing it, but it's doing it in a good way. Before it was like zooming in on your face. It does follow you though when you go this way, which is cool. It keeps you centered.
Okay. Jiu-jitsu. I just feel that I wish someone had given me, like, I don't know how to describe this. It's kind of what I provide in my program, but like taught me how to train smarter, taught me how necessary it was to lift, how to run my social media, how to network in jiu-jitsu. I think a lot of those things are really important. I didn't know about a lot of tournaments in the beginning. My first 2 years of jiu-jitsu, I just traveled around like blindly believing everyone who'd teach me anything. And I think it's good to just have good people to study your size and always try to, like, for example, if you're small, and you want to watch someone like Maisa Bastos, and you're like, okay, she has a really great game, to study her, or to just study jiu-jitsu and the people who match your body type in your game. So there's a lot I wish people had told me. I don't think I can just pinpoint one thing. I feel like, especially when you train about the same amount of time as me, Milton, is like, I feel like back then when we first started, like I trained a little bit longer than you, but there wasn't as much information, and we would watch like DVDs or VHS on jiu-jitsu. Remember that?
No, that's before my time. I'm only in 9 years. I got right on YouTube. Okay. I was bringing my iPad to practice, and my coach would be so pissed off. I'd be like, can you show me this move, coach? He finally gave in and just started doing it because he knew I wasn't going to stop.
Now you could do your own. You could do your own research, pretty much.
No, I was already at when I was 41. Yeah, I'm 49, going to be 50. I started right before my 41st birthday, and it was it was YouTube all day, every day. Breakfast, YouTube. My wife would come down. My girlfriend at the time, she'd just be like, "Really? You're watching more YouTube?" I'm like, she's like, "Haven't you had enough?" And I'm like, I just needed the info. I was addicted in the beginning, very much.
Same.
Yeah, for sure.
But what you were saying,
all those things.
You're saying like VHS is that flow of information. You know, like when she went and somebody caught her in a move, she couldn't just go in the car and Google it. Yeah, like that's 5
minutes later.
I can't tell you how many times I've done that. I was like, "What was that?" And they'll be like, "Oh, like as a white belt or whatever." Like, "What was that?" I was like, "Oh, that's a calf slicer or whatever." And I'd be like, I never heard of that before, but I could just go straight to the mat and just go defending calf slicer. And there's like
exactly.
I do that all the time because I honestly think that's how you get better. You should do that. You should go like, that was really nice. What is that move called? Yeah. And then go Google it. Yeah. And then go Google how to defend it.
Now you did get your black belt from Andre Galval, right?
I got my brown and my black from him.
Okay, very good.
Yeah,
where did you train before that?
ATOS. I went to ATOS as a purple belt.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! So I trained all over. So I trained in Bering in Rio. I trained in Gracie Barra and Maceió. I trained in Trump de Elite, something like this, in France. Oh, wow. I trained in
Australia.
Here in Boise, all the gyms. In Australia, I trained with Liv and Lockie in Absolute MMA. I trained in I'm trying to think, so many places. So many gyms.
Do you speak any of those languages now? Do you speak Portuguese?
Do I speak any of those languages? I speak Portuguese.
Do you speak French? How long were you in France?
I was in France for 3 months. I took 4 years of French in junior high to high school. And I can say, je m'appelle Heather. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez boire? My French is terrible. My Portuguese is really good, and my Spanish is really, really bad. But I'm really trying to learn Spanish.
Very
so yeah,
cool.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel bad like not naming all the schools. I train in a ton of schools. I trained in a school in the south of Brazil. It's called Drill BJJ now. I trained in a bunch of schools here in Idaho, which are, like I said, great and growing a lot.
Do you think there's an
There's
advantage?
all over the world.
Do you think there's an advantage
what?
to you having been experienced to all those schools through those developmental BJJ years, or no difference?
No, I wish I would have, like, if I obviously we don't want to like change the course of history, the butterfly effect or whatever, but I would have rather have learned my basics in one gym and then gone on to travel as like a purple belt, because just looking back, even as a brown belt, I would go places and black belts would be like, and this move works like this. And in my mind, I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, that's not functional. And so there's a lot of places where I went where just didn't have like maybe the best instruction, and I wouldn't know the difference. So I think it could have been detrimental to my learning in such a young age, because I didn't really understand jiu-jitsu until like the end of blue belt. And now I can see, even as a brown belt, I can see black belts that don't understand jiu-jitsu. Like they couldn't look at a move and see if it functions. They don't understand how the body mechanics work. They don't understand different sizes and what works for one person won't work for another person. And they don't understand like angles and balance and inside space, and they don't understand jiu-jitsu. So it's very strange for me. It's weird to think for me what I could have learned better if I had been like more graduated traveling. Instead, I traveled through white and blue all over the world. So I think it would have been better if I had kind of done it a little bit opposite. And that's why it's really nice traveling now, because I like to go places. And I took a class the other night in Salt Lake, and I was like, this is interesting. Like, I don't often take classes in smaller gyms, and it was a good class. But like as a white belt, I wouldn't have known if it was a good class or not. I would have just known jiu-jitsu and it's a black belt, so it must be good. That was my perception then. So I think when I came to ATOS, I had a lot of gaps in my game, but I also knew a lot of things that the girls at my belt level didn't. But I was very choppy, if that makes sense. Like there was a lot of holes. So yeah.
It all came together.
Yeah, you're able to piece it together now.
I feel like it came together and do okay.
I think that gold medal that you just got is pretty positive.
Yeah. Not just got
Actually,
got again. Again and again.
Yeah. And now I got to get some more titles at black belt. Like that's part of my 5-year. I made a 5-year plan, and right now I just need to do a couple more black belt titles, and then I can kind of start to move on and find something else to do in life.
How long have you been a black belt?
About a year.
Yeah.
And I don't have too many things to show for it. I got third at nationals. I got first in the Boise Open Absolute, and then I think I lost for fourth in the North Carolina, so I didn't win. So that's not even a medal. That was probably going to be a coaster one day. I usually like cut off the ribbon and then put little sticky tabs on my default medals, and then I use them for like my coasters. I'm not going to hang up.
You're hungry.
I'm not going to hang up a medal that I didn't win. But I don't like.
Dope
I feel
statement.
bad to throw it in the trash. What?
That's a dope statement. I'm not hanging up a medal. I didn't. That's how I felt. I did that invitational way back in the day at Fight Sports, where it was just only in Fight Sports.
Yeah.
And like there was nobody in my division, and they like, "Oh, you got to get on the podium and take a picture." And I was like, "Bro, I don't want to do this." Like,
Did you do it?
No.
I wouldn't have done it. Did you do it? Did you wind up doing it?
I took the picture.
Took the
Yeah,
picture?
that was a good sport. And then all I did was just like I immediately took off the medal. I got out of my.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I asked to go in a different division just to get at least one match.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
And then, but yeah, like that feeling. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
I don't understand the people who do that. For me, is like, especially if it's like, okay, you can do every once in a while. I understand, like, maybe marketing, I guess. But for me, it's very strange. I see a couple of people who post constantly medals that they didn't win because no one showed up. And especially there's a few females who do this, and I'm like, man, why didn't you just fight me?
Yeah.
There was one time at the San Diego Open where one girl went to Masters division where nobody was, and I was like, dude, why didn't you just do the no-gi in adult, and then you could have fought me in the open class, and I would have loved to have fought you. I would have loved to have had a match, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, kind of pissed me off. So they should be coasters. They shouldn't be pictures.
I remember somewhere around like blue belt, I got hip to the whole like people being like, I'm a world champion in some obscure event. Like I won the state. I'm the state champ.
I've jokingly posted like that one invitational. I said, I am the toughest 195 pounder that is 36 years old. That is also just a blue belt that
showed up at this
only
event.
Showed up to this event on this day. In this time in history,
I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, but
they made me take the picture, so I knew they were gonna post it.
We
so
both know somebody who is he never fails to bring up his Florida State championship.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was like he had 2 matches and was the blue belt state champ.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
All right, I get it. This wasn't IBJJF.
Even some IBJJF medals are just kind of like.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I got hip to the whole thing of when they're like, "Oh, I'm a 3-time world champion in New Breed."
You learn the quality.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wait a minute, but I didn't know when I walked into my first studio and all the medals were on the wall that the local if there were local events, it wasn't like truly.
There's also black belts.
You went
like
to the
that.
world. Like
somebody says, I'm a black belt, and the follow up question, unless you know the person, is what school?
Yeah, under who?
And then you say ATOS, and they go, oh
yeah.
You say Marcelo Garcia, they go. You say Jocko Willick, you go. You say something like Jeffrey Perez.
If there's a Jeffrey Perez out
so
there.
there's even that, and you could be a really really good black belt. My bad, Jeffrey Perez, black belt somewhere, and.
I don't know who Jeffrey.
No, I just made the name up. I just made it up, but just in case, just in case,
there's definitely a Jeffrey Perez who's a black belt somebody's gonna tag him and be like,
"I'll whoop your ass."
Yo, man, they're talking shit about you on the jiu-jitsu dummies.
Little dumbass up here. I'll show you what's up.
Hey, it's Jeffrey Perez.
Yeah,
for you.
right. It could be that.
So we do this little segment at the end of every episode, Heather. This is called
the drill down.
There you go. We call it the drill down.
The what?
We do this little segment. We do about 6 or 7 questions that almost the same questions that we ask every guest. Usually it's because these are like the questions that a lot of people send every time we ask for questions. It's like the same group of questions every time. So number 1, gi or no gi, and you already told us preference.
Wait.
Preference.
What do you like?
Now is no gi. Now is no gi.
Now it's no gi. Okay. So
but if you want me for a gi seminar, I still remember how to use my pajamas.
Yes.
Okay, good. So preference, takedown or pull guard?
Ooh, right now is takedown.
Okay.
Everything's changed.
Music during rolling, yes or no?
Oh yeah, I have to. I hate quiet rooms.
Yeah. What's your go-to? If you're controlling the playlist, what's playing?
What's playing?
If I'm in charge, I have a very random list, and I usually play that, and it has everything from like country to metal to like 60s, everything.
Okay.
Eclectic.
It's eclectic.
That's me. I'd probably be embarrassed at some of the songs that would come on if I just put my playlist on. But
I'm playing booty shaking music.
So now, obviously, we know you are a competitor. But do you like to watch, other than like you went to the ADCC? Are you watching? The WNOs and the Fight to Wins on Fridays and Saturdays. Are you watching these events as well?
I watch them, but not religiously. I watch a lot of jujitsu, but I mainly watch the women like in my division or in women that I plan to have matches with. I like to study jujitsu. So, of course, I like to watch those shows, but I really like to watch just women's jujitsu in general because I want to see what my competition's doing, how they're getting better. I like to see like how they learn and how they grow, and hopefully I can take some of that stuff and learn and grow too.
Do you have any favorite competitors that you like to watch?
I really loved watching Fionn. Was amazing.
Jeez.
That was great. Dude, she's incredible. I watched a lot of her jiu-jitsu. I watched Tata Ribeiro. I've known her since she was I think she was yellow. No, maybe she was blue. Back in Brazil, like 12 years. She's incredible. I've watched her a long time. Luisa Montero, I love to watch her. She's amazing, and I got to train with her for a number of years. She's a huge idol of mine. I used to watch Luisa and Angelica, and then it was ironic because then I got to train with them. So that's
awesome.
Incredible
Small
to
world.
because you watch imagine you watch Kobe and then you get to train with Kobe. That was my life. So
that's how Kobe was with Jordan.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
This isn't on my list of questions, but did you guys, I mean, you were there, so you might not have seen it. When I was watching the Kendall match, as when she hit the ground, you could see, I like rewatched it. Like, you could see her leg. There was obviously no mark. And then when she fell, you could just see like a red line right down her leg. I'm like, she definitely broke something. Something popped out and created that line right down her leg. And the commentators, I guess, because they're not like getting the replay right there. Plus, if it was like you're watching on one mat, they weren't commenting on it. And like, oh, I think Kendall got hurt over there. And I'm like, did nobody just see? It looks like her freaking like a bone's popping out of her leg.
Yeah.
Almost like, again, it was just like a straight line down the outside of her leg. Yeah. I don't know exactly what's happened. I follow her and we've had her on the show, but she's pretty jammed up.
She's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't see. She was on, like, we were sitting by the other mat and she was on the far side mat, and I was watching, I was watching both, but of course, as far away, I couldn't see anything. But yeah, I saw in her story that she was at the hospital, and then I haven't seen much. I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
She's a great competitor, and she had to overcome a lot to get there too. She had some back injury, and she really worked hard to be able to compete on that stage. So
yeah,
it sucks. She's a really her and Rafaela are really great competitors, and that's a bummer that that happened.
Yeah, then I would have liked to see that one play out.
Yeah.
Go to the end.
No, for sure.
But when I saw that, I was like,
me
oh,
too.
I could just see it when like I was watching that mat, because you can make change mats on the app, and I was watching that one, and I was just like, oh,
there weren't a lot of bad injuries this ADCC, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Not that I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was the worst.
There was.
There wasn't. Yeah. There was a lot of
I think I hate to see the girls injured, especially because man, it's so hard. The divisions are so small. The weight classes are so big. The work they have to put in, it's just they work. I feel like they work 10 times harder, and then to get injured and just have everything shit on you. Like, I feel so bad for her. So yeah,
I was
but I don't think any of the other girls got injured. I think only Mika looks like his heel. He tapped fast, but Kay didn't let go until the ref said stop. So he might have a little bit of an injury.
Yeah. I've seen the rise of female MMA. Like, you're a fan.
I remember when Dana was like, "I'll never have a girl
fighting." And I remember the first Tough, the Ultimate Fighter that had Rose, had all the people who are kind of still in now. That's how shallow that division is. And now it's to a point where there's a lot of female fighters. There's definitely a female fighter or two on the card. And I feel like jiu-jitsu, since I've come in the last 3 years, female jiu-jitsu has gone a long way in the last 3 years. But I still think it's...
No, for sure.
But it's still, I think, at its infancy. And I think
No,
we're maybe
for sure.
I think there should be more weight classes. We talked about that with a few women, like especially the ADCC. This whole over and under, what is it,
over
66
over
kilo
66 and under 66.
I mean,
yeah, it's like
there
130.
are so many more competitors. Can't there be the same weight divisions as Matt? Or, I mean,
Yeah.
with
Not enough.
if Gabby's still going to fight, I mean, I don't know that you have a lot of people her size that would fight, but 66 to be that break point and for her to be so much heavier than all the other girls, just don't think it's fair. But look what happened, you know.
It's just so you know, like for reference, it's 132. I can't cut to 132, and I walk around as like a pretty small woman, and I can't cut to that weight. Like I didn't do trials because I was like, man, I would like to fight at that weight, but I can't even cut to that weight.
You're
and you have to weigh in every single.
Kendall at
Gabby,
150 plus. What is Kendall? Not 150, 185.
Kendall is probably. I would say. I want to guess Kendall walks around at 175. I hope that doesn't bother her that I say that.
We've talked about it. I know it's up there. She's talked about it.
Yeah.
There's a weight class that fights
not up there, but at that weight. I mean, you know.
Yeah. I definitely I would think that there would need to be 3 divisions at least. Like I would have thought that would have been that this year, especially because in Abu Dhabi, like the Sheikh did do some things to kind of progress women's jiu-jitsu. Like for example, in the Grand Slam or any of the Abu Dhabis where you get paid per competitor that shows up rather than boys get paid this much and girls get paid this much. So I think it's like a step forward. So I would have thought that they would have had at least 3 divisions, and like to fight, it's insane to fight 132 kilos to somebody who walks around at 280. Like that's saying if you can't cut that much and you're walking around at 135, you have to fight someone who weighs 280 pounds.
Gabby?
That's more than double.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think people. She's obviously, at least Gabby she's been figured out. I mean, Amanda, right?
Yeah.
Amanda beat her.
Amy.
Yeah.
And Amy.
Yeah,
Amy beat her.
and Amanda
Amy.
too, the MMA fighter.
Amanda beat her. Yeah, so I think
I'm talking about the last. I'm sorry, like was it a WNL?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a WNO.
Amanda, I forget her
Amanda
name.
Levy.
Amanda Levy, yeah.
Levy,
right, so she
Levy,
figured her out, right? And then, you know, now in this last one, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I think if the category was like if it's like 175 and up, there's a lot of girls, a lot of them are doing the gi right now, but they're pretty popular. Like there's a girl Yada, she's quite good. There's Larissa Diaz, she's quite good.
Yeah.
All those girls, there would be a bigger division, and if they did this, you know, so maybe under 170. Because for me, if you're telling me, oh, I walk around 145, I have to fight somebody 170, that's okay. Like, that's the division. But someone 280, like, I'm going to get hurt. I'm not saying that I could be there, but if I could, I wish I could.
Yeah.
It's just, it's hard. My friend Nikki had Gabby first round, and Nikki's tough. She's a really good girl from Australia. You didn't get to see much jiu-jitsu, and that's a bummer because Nikki has incredible jiu-jitsu. So... yeah. So I think just more weight divisions would be. I
love the underdog
fair.
story. I love an underdog win. In that context, you're fighting. You know, it's David versus Goliath. Basically.
When Mikey Musumeci did the what was it? The open weight class division.
Oh yeah.
And he ended up with that dude that was like 500 pounds or something. Dude.
And quick.
Yeah.
It was fast.
It wasn't that quick.
No,
bro.
that wasn't that.
No.
There's one where isn't there one where he like finishes the guy?
Yeah. He had to get out of there. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we have a couple more questions. So,
okay,
what is your ultimate goal? What is the legacy that you want to leave behind as it relates to jiu-jitsu?
Oh wow. I think I hope that I can do a lot for women's jiu-jitsu. I started later in life as well, and of course, I would like to have more titles for myself. But I hope I see a lot of women who are like, this isn't fair for women. This isn't fair. And like kind of, I guess, nagging about it. And I really try to be more proactive in helping the growth of female jiu-jitsu. So I really like doing events for women and helping female jiu-jitsu grow. So I really hope that I can have a part in that. And I don't know. I think I just want it for longevity. Like, I love the sport. It's amazing. I love to share jiu-jitsu. I love to learn jiu-jitsu. So yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, I say jokingly, I want to die on the mat. You know, I want to be rolling and conk out.
I want to go like my grandfather.
Don't tell my wife I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his sleep.
She wants me to go quietly next to her.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
Like she was
Together.
watching The Notebook the other day. I'm like, easy, babe. Just
That's how you go to sleep.
yeah.
Just
do have
the
one-
same. The same.
We have one
sorry.
last question
I was
for
gonna say
you.
the same, but on the mat.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
So, one last question. And now I know that you said you're not doing a lot of gi, but
Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu gi belt?
Oh.
it's a big one.
Yeah.
Very
I do
divisive
every once
issue.
in a while.
Are you wishy-washy?
Yeah, I mean, I wash it sometimes. I don't. I used to think there was some like
Juju?
reason, but I can send you. Yeah, I can send you guys a picture of my blue and purple and brown belts, and I didn't wash them, and I feel like the MRSA like ate them away
Yeah.
because I can't really remember training that much.
It feels like it eats
Sorry.
it up.
You know
Like
what
when you see
MRSA
somebody
is,
that
right?
doesn't wash their belt, it like eats it up in a different way.
Flesh-eating
Holy
disease.
cow.
It's like,
Oh, sorry guys, I have to teach in 15 minutes. What's
okay,
up?
yeah, we're
Yeah, I'm teaching. Okay, sorry.
no, that's good.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was our
Yeah, we're
last
done.
question.
That was
Let's.
it.
I want to give you the
Okay.
floor. Go ahead and do you want to shout out any sponsors? Say hello to anybody. This is your time.
Oh, well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
The
for being
last
with us.
podcast I did, I think I was a little more fun because I was having like a glass of wine. So if you guys,
You were
if
great.
guys
We
ever
loved it.
have
We
me on
loved
the
having you.
Okay, good. Yeah, so there's this really great brand in Mexico. It's called Pressure and Diamonds. You can say Preson and Diamantes because my Spanish is so bad. But they now have a store in the US, and it's a really great brand. So if you guys want to check it out, and then yeah, I use Electrum Performance. Most of the things that people that sponsor me like are things that I use constantly. Like I was rubbing this on my shoulders. It's Doc Thackeray's CBD, but I feel like most of the people that sponsor me like are products that and things that I use, like Electrum Performance. I really believe in their strength and conditioning. I actually got called Bomba Strong when I was just lifting 4 days a week. And I'm totally natural. Like I've never done a steroid.
What does that
I don't
mean? What
even
does
take
Bomba Strong mean?
Yeah, in Portuguese, when it bombao, it's like you're taking acai and Jesus. You know?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, and
Bombao,
like
yeah. Bomba strong.
bomba, yeah, bomba.
yeah, bomba. She's as strong
like,
as a bomb. That she's juiced up.
Yeah. And it's funny because I'm totally natural. I don't even take Tylenol. Like, I don't take no Advil.
So you're like
cortisone,
homeopathic?
Yeah,
That's
totally
good.
homeopathic. So
Gotcha.
I'm totally natural. So when the girls tell me that, I was like, this is my strength program. So
Well, that's awesome.
yeah,
That's
and
good. You believe in your sponsors.
yeah, I believe in my sponsors. I don't like. It sucks because I feel like as an athlete, like maybe it would be better and if I let anybody sponsor me, but I kind of don't want to have somebody sponsor me that I don't believe in them as a person, or I think they're like a
Yeah.
trash human.
I think that's
So,
wise. I think
I
that
will-
pays off in the long run.
Keep an eye out. I know like some of our sponsors, like they like to reach out. They might send you something. We're going to, if you send me your address, I actually send me your address and your sizes. And actually some of our sponsors one of our sponsors sends out our t-shirts and he tends to maybe throw
cool.
an item or two, just, nothing crazy, but he might throw something in there. But one of our,
Nice.
our Neutral Zone Clean has been reaching out to a couple of our sponsors. They just launched their cleaning product, their like hygiene products, wipes and sprays. And they've been
I need
reaching
that.
out to, I let them know. I'm like, yeah, that was great guest. They shared our stuff before they came on the podcast. Like they would be a good partner for you. And then I let,
Yeah.
whatever they do and offer is up to them. But, keep an eye out. It actually happens where they reach out and they say, hey, we saw you on the podcast. We sponsor, maybe we could do something together. So it does happen a lot. So more often than not.
Cool.
We like our sponsors too.
Yeah. Our sponsors are
We're
pretty
not,
awesome.
We're not
That's
selling
good.
out. We're not selling out.
All right, so I know you got to teach. Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you very much for
Okay.
doing this.
Thank
We're saying
you.
goodbye, but we're going to come take a picture real quick.
Take two
just
pictures.
One more minute.
Okay.
Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at thebjjbox. Neutral Zone is combat family owned, so they know you need to keep yourself and your equipment clean. They created Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays for just that purpose. Neutral Zone products are formulated to reduce the risk of bacterial and fungal infections. Whatever's making you sweat, weight training, rolling on the mats, yard work, or just working around the house, Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays can make you feel and smell refreshed. Use code JJD to get 15% off your online order at NeutralZoneClean.com. While you're there, sign up for their newsletter to receive the latest info and updates on product launches like their new shower gel and soap bar coming soon. Are you Neutral Zone Clean? Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
All right. That was great, right? She's
a lot of good perspectives.
Cool. Yeah.
Super hungry.
Her knuckles prove her power.
Super hungry. I feel like that's an important part of the competitive.
She'll grab your throat.
Your throat.
Yeah, not mine, bro.
Fuck that, you guys. We think your throat is
I'll
all
just be
muscle?
friends. I'll just be friends.
Like Schwarzenegger throat.
I'm just saying, if there's one, if there's a neck that she's going to get to in this room, it's going to be the guy that doesn't.
It's probably gonna be yours, bro.
I would die just as she's coming at me.
Heather, you would choke us out too. We're just kidding.
As she's coming at me, I would just die. My heart would stop, and I would just die.
My knees are still pretty okay. I'll run.
All right, guys. So once again, thank you to Heather for joining us.
Awesome.
Little housekeeping here, guys. Don't forget, if you purchase anything from any of our sponsors, you've seen the commercials on the show, or listened to, or seen the commercials on the show. Neutral Zone Clean, Neutral Zone CBD, BJJ, the BJJ box,
Flow and Roll,
Black Belt Digital Marketing.
Vincero.
If you do anything with us, we'll put you in there as well. Vincero. What else?
BJJ box. You already said.
Feito.
AV.
You know, if you work with any of our clients, we've always said send us the receipt. If you work with any of our clients, let us know, and we're going to put you into a raffle for up to $250 worth of jiu-jitsu gi, jiu-jitsu swag. I am probably going to work with some of our sponsors to do even more, so it's probably going to be more than $250. I know with what we're going to put in just ourselves, it's at least $250. So just, look, we can't do this without our sponsors. If you buy anything from our sponsors, let us know, please. These are some awesome products. I love my BJJ box every time it comes. I use the Neutral Zone CBD every night before I go to bed. Yep. I use the spray and the wipes on the mats, in the car, when I go to the gas station. Like, I'm actually using this stuff.
Can I got one more shout out.
Shout out or shout out?
Shout out. The Jiu-Jitsu Dummies coffee mug. Okay, there's one feature I like about it. The handle is big.
Okay.
So like you
Yeah.
could actually grab it. Like
I send
With
out
4
the 15
fingers.
ounce mugs.
With 4 fingers. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the bigger mug. It's the that's the 15 ounce. I think there's like an 11. I do the 15
Like a
ounce.
Viking
get the bigger mug, everybody.
It's like a Viking.
It's life changing. It's
Yeah.
it's my favorite mug
It's
right now.
become a thing. I get more
used to
pictures
be-
of that mug and like.
You want to know why? Because they're using it because
Yeah.
it works. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that's the honest feedback. It used to be Mr. Right in my cupboard. That's it. It said Mr. Right, and then my wife's always says Mrs. No, mine says Mr. Always Right. No, Mr. Right, and then hers says Mrs. Always Right. That's what it is.
Got it.
But now I've transitioned out of that. I'm jiu-jitsu dummies mug only.
Whether you win one, if you want to buy one, go to it's jiu-jitsudummies.shop or go to @jiu-jitsu-dummies-shop on IG. Click the link. Really, on all of our IG pages, if you go to the link tree, you'll find the shop page as well. Flow and Roll sends out our T-shirts.
Yeah.
But we actually have, we had our own stuff on the site. We still have all that stuff there, and we do have mugs and accessories, things like that.
Made up a rhyme for it already.
@Jiu-Jitsu Dummies on IG for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. My IG is Uncle Milty BJJ.
Mine is JJD_DJJ69.
Bo.
Well,
BAD.
Turn the mic on, Bo. Okay, right now.
turn my microphone up.
Now who's fucking up?
BADWERKS. Why do you take that
Bad words.
personally?
No, I'm just saying, this
Yeah,
and the talking
but
to the mic.
I'm not
You got
supposed
your
to
mic
even
out,
be
you know?
on a mic.
Yeah, he's just doing his job, man.
I'm just being here.
Sorry, you want the
don't be so
podcast to be
sensitive,
good.
man.
I'm pushing
That's
buttons.
what you got to
man.
say. That's what you got to say. You just got to go. Sorry, I want the podcast to be good. My bad.
Thank you for watching and listening, everyone. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.
Peace, love, jiu-jitsu. My bad.